Hey everyone, my name's Mark. Welcome to Velocity. Come on in. So the first thing you'll do when you come here on a Wednesday night, whether you're in junior high or high school, whether we have small groups or youth group, this will be your first stop. We've moved basically everything that we did upstairs in the links booth down here. So we'll have 2 computers here actually, and every week, whether you've been here before or not, you'll stop here first and check in. There will be people here to help you, to take your information, and to make sure to point you in the right direction. And we'll also have signs for which direction you should go as well. Speaking of that, if you come here, let's say on a first Wednesday of the month and you're in high school, so that'll be a small group night for you because we'll have small groups for high schoolers on the first and third Wednesdays. So from this point, here is where you would go from there. Let's go. So, like we said, if you're here for a small group night, this will be your first stop. You'll come in here into our elementary theater. We'll have some music playing in here. We'll have some games for you. And for your pre-velocity time from 6 to 7, this is where you'll be hanging out. Your small group leaders will be in here. They'll be ready to hang out with you guys, play some games with you guys, and let you know a little bit more about what's going on for that evening. So this is the gathering place. Let's check out one of the rooms you might be meeting in. All right, so here we are in the early childhood theater. This is where one of our groups will be meeting for high school and one for junior high as well. But all of the rooms will have a similar layout. They may be a little bigger or smaller, but they'll have a TV for our groups to dive into their video. And also once they get here, as part of their small groups, it's a lot like parents if you're in a Crossroads small group. So they'll gather together, they might share a snack or something like that. Then they'll talk about their week a little bit. They'll share their highs and their lows with their peers, with their leaders, so they all can be there for each other, connect with one another. And then they'll do a game or activity together to kind of break the ice and get everybody connecting, because the point of these groups is for students to get to know each other better and make friends, make meaningful friendships, and also connect to a significant relationship with an adult leader over time. So that's everything we do in these rooms will be based on that. They'll play a game together, they'll talk, they'll go through a Bible study together, which will usually be about a 10 or 15-minute video, and then they'll just talk about it. They'll just kind of try and figure out together, talk through some of these issues. Students will have a chance to raise their concerns, their questions that they have. They'll just be able to talk through everything about their beliefs and hopefully be able to solidify their beliefs and find their true hope and faith in Jesus Christ as part of that as well. Other areas they'll be meeting in, our seniors will be in the cafe and one of our junior high groups in there as well. And we'll also be using a couple classrooms from Kid Street. But every room will have some chairs, TV, and plenty of space for them to do what they need to do for their groups, which will be awesome. All right, so maybe they're not here on a small groups night. Maybe they're a high schooler that came on the second Wednesday and it's a youth group night. Or maybe a junior higher if they come on a youth group night. We want to show you exactly what happens for those nights as well. So let's head on back to the links booth, and then we'll take it from there. Let's go. All right, so we're back here at the check-in booth, and now let's say you're not here on a small group night, but you're here on a night that you have youth group. Don't worry, if you don't remember, our links booth team will be able to help you out with that, and they'll be able to point you in the right direction. We'll also have some signs up and everything like that as well. But let's say you're here on a youth group night. Where do you go from here? Glad you asked. Let's check it out. Now, just like in the past here at Velocity that you've grown to know and love, the first stop on a youth group night could be the upper deck. We'll have our Gaga ball set up every single week. We'll have loud music playing in the upper deck every single week. So if you want to, that's one of the spots you can hang out from 6 to 7 o'clock. Or if you don't like Gaga ball and you want to come hang out in the attic, that's cool too. Let's go check out that area. So as you can see, we still got some cleanup room to go up here because this isn't actually going to be our links booth. This will actually only be an area for selling merch and swag here from Velocity. We'll be selling our t-shirts, water bottles, all that fun stuff, and you can purchase it all right here. All right, let's head on in. Sorry, one thing. Quick stop, real quick. Something new this year, we have our info board. We want to be able to connect more with you as parents. So every week you come and drop off your high schooler or junior high, or if you swing up here on a Sunday morning, we'll have all of the dates for the current month that we're in. We'll have calendars available, all kinds of fun stuff. Props to Jared Spindler, our summer intern, for making this board happen for us. All right, here's the attic. Let's go. All right, and we're right back here in our youth room that we call the attic here at Crossroads. And this is the area that if your son or daughter comes on a Wednesday and it's a youth group night for them, they'll be spending most of their time in here doing all the things you know and love about Velocity. Or if your son or daughter's never been before, we do a time of worship with our bands in here that is always fun, always exciting, always hype. And then we play a game together, do some giveaways, things like that. And then we have a message from God's Word for them that connects directly to them in high school or junior high to help them grow, to help them, grow into the passionate follower of Jesus we know God desires them to be. Now, a lot of you have asked the question, will high schoolers and junior highers be together? The answer is no, because they'll be on alternating schedules. So they'll do everything separately. Worship, game, everything will be done separately. If it's a small group night, they'll head directly into Kid Street. If it's a youth group night, they'll head directly up here. So it'll be two separate experiences, but one great night, one amazing night for your kids to come and grow and learn and grow into that passionate follower of Jesus we know God created them to be. So thanks for taking our tour, and now we want to let you know about a couple of changes this year and also what's coming up this year so you can have a heads up as parents. So let's do it. All right, parents, so welcome to our Velocity eMeeting. This is where I'm going to let you guys know about some stuff coming up this year and some questions that you might have. So first of all, I just wanted to talk to you about our theme. Every year we have a theme that we hope to drive home with our students, with your students. And like a couple years ago, we did a theme of identity, figuring out who our students are, who they were called to be, who's the person that God is growing them to be. So this year, our theme is we're focusing more on friendships and togetherness. Actually, our first series we'll be doing with our junior high and high schoolers at youth group is called Together. And the whole idea of it's based on the early church and the early chapters of Acts. And the whole idea of it kind of centers around what God can do when we're united, when we become as one, when we work together. We can accomplish so much more for the kingdom of God. We can accomplish so much more to reach our friends and our communities in the name of Jesus Christ, to multiply followers of Jesus. And so we're really going to drive home on that. And, it's funny and kind of ironic that this is the year we're starting to do our small groups on Wednesday nights for junior high and high school, even though we started this kind of layout with junior high a couple of years ago. But we're implementing it full blown because we believe small groups are the way that your kids are not only going to meet more friends and connect with significant friends, not only are they going to grow closer to their adult leaders who are people, all of our adult leaders are incredible followers of Jesus, people who we've hand-selected. This isn't something, our small group leaders aren't people that we choose lightly. They're people that we seek out. We're people that we interview them. We put them through a training process to make sure they're the right person to disciple your son or daughter. So they'll have time with them. But really, these small groups are going to help your son or daughter grow into a follower of Jesus, to go from, just where they're kind of a consumer, just taking it all in, enjoying Velocity. We know Velocity is awesome. We know our worship team does a great job. We know our game people do great jobs, with junior high and high school. But if they're not really growing their faith, if they're still at a place where they're just a consumer and taking in the games and the worship, then we feel like we're failing as a youth ministry, because our goal is to develop students into passionate followers of Jesus. So with these small groups, it's really going to focus on them making meaningful friendships, growing with other leaders, and just really growing into the person Jesus wants them to be. And that's another question that you may have as far as why are we changing the format for high school? Junior high parents, you can vouch for this. This format works well. We didn't make this decision lightly. We kind of looked around at what other churches were doing. We looked at Cedar Creek, who's totally eliminated youth group and only does small groups now. And we've looked at some other churches that don't focus on small groups as much. And we saw the value in both, and we're like, what do we do? What do we do? And so we've kind of created this hybrid format for Velocity where it's one night for junior hires and high schoolers, but it's small groups, it's youth group, and we didn't want to do them both on the same night because we don't want to shortchange the time our small group leaders get with your students. So we kind of created this new format, this new way of doing things, which if you haven't seen that video yet, I'll post a link right here. If I can actually format this, that'll be dope. I'm not very good at formatting, but if I can, the link will be right here that you can check out the video that explains more in detail about this new format. But the reasoning behind it is, man, we want to do everything we can to grow your kids into passionate followers of Jesus. We believe God created every student in our youth group on purpose for a purpose. We believe God created every kid that sneaks away to smoke behind the church, and we find them and we're like, hey, you. We believe God created every kid that grew up in the church and is passionately following Jesus. We believe God has a calling on all of their lives, and we're going to do everything we can to get them to realize what that calling is, get them to see that calling. And we believe the way to do it is, through doing youth group, through giving them an opportunity to worship and have messages directed at their age group, directed at where they are in their life. And we also believe another huge part of that is small groups. Having adult leaders who actually, are investing in their faith, partnering with you as parents to grow them in their faith in Jesus Christ, and also just a way to connect with other students their age. So we're really excited about this, man. I shared this with our leaders, and I wasn't sure how they would feel about it because on small group nights, our small group leaders have free reign. It's up to them. It's their time. And I didn't know if some of them would be like, too much responsibility. But, that's me and my own shortcomings because I know my leaders are cooler than that, and they're all super excited about this new format we're doing as well. And I hope you will be too. I hope you talk it up to your students. If your student shows apprehensions to you and they're like, I don't know, small groups, I don't know if I want to do that. Would you partner with us and encourage them and say, you know what, this is going to be a way for you to get to know your leaders more. This is going to be a way for you to make some friends. This will be a place where if students have questions like, well, I don't really believe God actually exists. I don't believe Jesus was God. This is the place where they can raise those questions and start a dialogue about it. It'll be a judgment-free zone. It'll be a place where if they have doubts or fears or apprehensions, they have every opportunity to raise them in small groups. So, that was a really long-winded answer as to why the new format. But, we just feel like we're going to do everything short of sin that we can to develop your student into a follower of Jesus. And we hope that you'll partner with us and get excited about this new way of doing things that we've created. So we want to let you all know also about some events coming up this year. Maybe you're wondering, what kind of opportunities are there for my kids to get plugged in? We're actually exploring some new avenues for this. All of our small group leaders are going to be charged with figuring out a service project for their group. We encourage all of our small groups here at Crossroads, whether it's kids, students, or adults, to get involved with one of our local mission partners. So we're going to put that challenge on our small group leaders as well to talk to the students about a service project they're passionate about, whether it's helping with Tent City in October, which is a huge outreach to the homeless community in Toledo, whether it's partnering with the pregnancy center or social services for the Arabic community or one of our food drops or helping in the praise garden outside, whatever it is, all of our students are going to have the opportunity to do service projects because, that's one of our next steps at Crossroads is serving. So we want our students to have that opportunity as well. And we're going to Spring Hill. Again, of course, we'll be doing 2 trips to Spring Hill. Our high school trip will be happening in mid-January, and our junior high trip is the last weekend of January. We'll be launching all those dates once Velocity starts and giving all the details for that and the pricing and everything like that. But it's always an amazing trip going to Spring Hill. So we hope we'll be sending out letters and stuff to try and twist your arm more for that. But we really hope you start considering that now, sending your kids with us on the winter retreat, on the winter camp. And then for our big trip for our high schoolers next summer, we'll be going to Haiti, but we're doing it a little different this year. We're going to cap that trip at 10 students that can come with us to Haiti. And they're actually going to have to apply to come with us. They're going to have to write a paper about why they want to come with us. And so we do that because with these big trips like this, we want students that are passionate about reaching the world. So that's another one maybe to start talking to your kids about if they want to come to Haiti with us. That trip will be in late June. But again, we'll launch all of those dates once Velocity kicks off. And then speaking of kickoff, that's the last thing I wanted to share with all of you. We have our big party next Wednesday for junior high and high school. For that one, man, we're going to have inflatable human foosball, giant human foosball. We're going to have an inflatable obstacle course. We're going to have crazy, awesome worship music that our worship teams have been working on already. Our high school team has been practicing all summer for the big party, so they're ready to roll. We're going to have some teaching, of course. I'm going to be sharing kind of a vision for the year, a vision for this series called Together. But then we're going to have free pizza. We're going to have tie-dye shirts, which just send your kid with $5, and that'll buy them the white T-shirt with our big Velocity logo on it and all the materials they need to tie-dye it and make it their own. And all that fun stuff. We're going to have a video game room set up by Tyler Schroyer, one of our small group leaders, with some classic Nintendo systems and some newer systems as well. Super Smash Brothers, all kinds of cool stuff like that. What else are we doing? Man, I don't know. Gaga ball, 9 square, bowling, bonfire, s'mores, all kinds of awesome stuff. And if your student has never been to Velocity before, all of our small group leaders are going to be there as well. So if they come and they're nervous because they don't know anybody, right away we will find them. I'll be right out front. We'll connect them with their small group leader. So right out of the gate, they have a connection to somebody here at the big party. So encourage your kids to come, man. Send them our way. It's from 6 to 9 for junior high and high school. They'll have separate worship times, so they'll also have separate times to be on the inflatables and stuff. But it's going to be amazing. It's going to be a party. It's going to be big, and we want every student in Temperance and Bedford and Sylvania and Toledo to know about it. Our vision for this thing is that eventually when it catches on, catches fire, man, that we'll have hundreds of kids coming here to Crossroads to learn about Jesus and learn about how to connect. But yeah, so get excited about that. Tell your kids to bring their friends. We'll have flyers handing out on Sunday that they can pass out to all their friends to let them know about it as well. And then right from there, we'll be rolling with our small groups, with our youth groups. Everything will be kicking off from there. We will have our fall calendars coming out soon. That'll let you know about when things are, like Unite, which is a big gathering we do on a Wednesday night. It'll be October 10th this year. We partner with Compelled and Bedford Alliance and Bridgepoint Church, and a couple other churches are jumping in with us as well this year. It's at Bedford High School. We bring in a worship band, a speaker, and it's just a big party so they can see, it's not just our little pocket of Velocity that's trying to follow Jesus and learn what it means. There's hundreds, literally thousands of teenagers in this area who are passionately trying to follow Jesus. So we're going to bring them all together, man, and pump them all up together and be a rallying cry. We're going to get them more involved with Trunk or Treat this year. We're going to have all of our small groups have a friendly competition for who can make the best trunk for Trunk or Treat. And whoever wins that, we're going to throw them a pizza party at small groups one week. We're just, like I said, everything we can do, everything humanly possible with the resources, with the amazing team we have to draw your student in, to connect them to Velocity, to connect them to Crossroads, to connect them to Jesus Christ. We're going to do every single thing we can because, as you know, here at Crossroads, we are for you, we're for God, and we're for a better life. And we're going to do everything we can to show your students what that better life looks like. So get excited, parents. Man, get your kids excited about plugging in with us this year. We got some awesome stuff in store. Brand new format for high school Velocity, brand new night for junior high Velocity. It's going to be great. All right, so I hope you're excited. If you have questions about Velocity for me, if you'd like to email me, text me, call me about any details for anything, but it all starts next week with the big party from 6 to 9 on September 12th. So yeah, another thing you might be wondering is how you can get plugged in. A lot of you know about the staff changes that have happened here at Crossroads, and part of those staff changes meant losing Tammy Velick, who was my administrative assistant. There's a lot of things that Tammy did that we're finding out a way how to get the same things done at the same level of excellence Tammy brought. And for that to happen, I really need your help, parents. And I know this sounds like a desperate plea, and that's because it is. We have a lot of different things, different ways for you to get plugged in and connected to help us out. That would be a huge help to us. That would be really small things you could do, even from your own home. Some things like scheduling workers in the grill, just to make sure we have at least 2 workers every week working in the grill. So we got that covered. It's a simple thing you can do from home. We give you a program called Ministry Scheduler Pro, and I'll train you how to use that and stuff. And that'll take a big load off of my shoulders, just making sure we have people working there. Another one is scheduling the links booth, just overseeing that, making sure it's all set. The links booth is what we looked at earlier in the video, where kids first come in. That's where they check in. And that's a vital part of what we do here, really. It's more than just a check-in, because that's where we gather information that allows us to follow up with them. You give them a gift if it's the first time they've ever been here. And then you also help them input their information, their address, phone number, things like that. Because what we do as part of our follow-up program is I send all of the new students a handwritten card the next day. It goes out first thing in the mail on Thursday morning, and we want to get that out to them. But if we don't have their home address, we can't do that. And we also send them a gift card to the grill in that card that they can use at Velocity to get a free meal, free combo upstairs. And also, I shoot them a text the next morning that just says, hey, thanks so much for coming last night. My name's Mark. I'm the youth pastor at Crossroads. We're really glad you were here. And we can't do that if we don't have their cell phone number. So, and then things like, even when we go to email them, when we go to shoot them an email or their parents an email, if we don't have their email addresses, we can't send them and connect with them, which, as you know, is a vital part of what we do at Velocity, is partnering with parents. But we can't do that if we don't have their contact information. So the links booth is a vital part of what we do, and it's another thing that needs to be scheduled every month. So you see, these are all things that I could do, but all these small things will amount to big things that'll take away from doing things that would really help Velocity move forward the way it needs to go. So small things like that, it'd take you maybe a half hour out of your week every week. Do it from home on your couch, making sure those positions are filled. Other things we can do, maybe you say, I want to help with Velocity, but I don't want to hang around a bunch of teenagers on Wednesday nights. I don't blame you. Only crazy people want to do that. Another thing you can do is making sure our grill is stocked. Tammy, one of the things she would do every week was do inventory of our grill, and you could check it on Sunday mornings if you're here at church, or really anytime you want to come up here to the church when the office is open on your time. And then she would run to Gordon's and make sure if we need hamburger buns, hot dog buns. So this one's a little more involved, but we have an account with Gordon, so you don't have to spend any of your own money. You just tell them you're from Crossroads Church, and then we'll make sure it gets taken care of. But just little things like that go a long way for us, making sure we get done what we need to get done on our end. So if maybe you're thinking, I don't want to work with the students one-on-one necessarily, but I like planning things. We need people to arrange vans for us for Spring Hill, to plan the traveling, plan the gas, plan all that kind of budget stuff. And maybe you think you're gifted in that kind of stuff. We would welcome that, contacting people to borrow vans, maybe just arranging transportation, things like that. But so just be careful, because some of you have already said to me, if there's anything I can do, the answer is yes, there is anything you can do, and we need your help, parents. So we would really love for all of our parents to get involved in some way, shape, or form, even if it's not coming here on Wednesdays and being a small group leader. Anything you're willing to do to help us out, help us make Velocity great. Any small thing you can take off the shoulders of one of the people already involved, myself included, it just enables us to go a step further with what we're able to give at Velocity and what we're able to make happen for our students. So if you're wondering how to get involved, shoot me an email. I'd love to sit down and talk with you and figure out a good way for you to get plugged in. Even if it is working at the grill or working at the links booth, we need you. We need your help, parents, to make this happen. So we'd love to partner with you in that way as well. We're excited to dive into the communities, get more involved in the communities, and we hope you're ready to partner with us, parents. We hope you're ready to partner with us in reaching your students and reaching this area for the glory of God, for the glory of Jesus Christ. So get excited, get pumped. We're excited, we're pumped. It's going to be a great year. Thanks for partnering with us. We'll see you soon.